Well, thank you. What a wonderful morning we had this morning. I was in the first service, and it was just such a marvelous time. And we just, as a church family, want to thank you for your friendship to Calvary Temple over the years, and especially also for your Christian ministry in your own lives that you've served throughout the United States. And we couldn't think of how more fitting it would be than to present to you 2 years ago the voice that you heard of Watson argue was done on big transcription records like the one that you see at the table over there. They're 16-inch records. Very few places can play them. They're very difficult to get played. And 2 years ago, I contacted the Archives of Manitoba, and I was trying to find out how we could play these records. And we found a gentleman who lives in the north end of the city, and he did all of them at no charge to the church. And he's been witnessed to by the church, which is an amazing story. He listened to them all, and he's been witnessed to. So we had all 21 records that were in the church's possession digitized, and we want to present one of these records in a frame to you tonight to take home. They've all been digitized, so we're not losing any audio. So we have a record here to send home with you, and then we also have the digital recordings of all the records to also send home with you. So I'll let Pastor unveil it.
Oh my! Are we ready?
Do you want to read it, or you want me to? So I'll just read what the record says. So the radio station at the time, CJRC, this recording was November 16th, 1941. It was the week after the recording that you heard tonight, actually, pretty amazingly. And it says at the bottom, Reverend Watson Argue, D.D., Doctor of Divinity, Pastor, Calvary Temple, 1937 to 1938. The sermon on this record, A Few Thoughts on Heaven, 48. A Few Thoughts on Heaven.
When this record was recorded, our guest was 1 year old. And you weren't. No, she hadn't got out of Sweden. Where's Norway? No. Thank you, Jason. Jason, this weekend, we've all worked together, but sort of the fire underneath it all is this man's heart for, isn't it amazing how God has used this wonderful young man? And we love him and Claudine, and they now have 2 children, and so he's a busy, busy guy. God bless you. Thank you so much. And you can present the CD as well, and you have all that preaching of your dad. Full records, all put there. Yeah. There you go.
Well, I just want to thank Jason. He started to communicate with me some months ago, and he said he played it very well. He had a fish on the line. He was going to play me right along. And he said, I may have some recordings of your father, the Gospel Fireside Hour. And I thought, that can't be. And I sat at the table tonight with him, and I said, Jason, I sure hope that you'll be able to send me some things on my father. Little did I know he had them all here ready to go. So very well done. Thank you so much. Very special, very special.